How you doing, YouTube? We're back for another beer review. One of two new beers from Garrison Brewing here in Nova Scotia. Just showed up on the NSLC shelves this week, I guess. And I was lucky enough to pick up both of them. And the first one we're doing is Obey This Brew Hopped Pale Ale. Now, hopped pale ale, really? Who would have thought? 5% alcohol by volume. This is essentially a blend of two beers. It's their Hop Yard Pale Ale and their Tall Ship Amber Ale, and they did this to basically in connection with the Obey Convention, and it explains what the Obey Convention is. Obey Convention brings alternative realities for music and art to Halifax each spring. This year they have a beer to reflect those efforts. Okay, actually doesn't really explain what the Obey Convention is, because that's kind of it really doesn't explain anything. It just says something about it, but it doesn't really explain it. This adventurous brew is best enjoyed in the presence of crushing noise, impossible beats, and ambient whispers. Okay, so I have no idea what the hell the Obey Convention actually is, except that it has something to do with music, and that they're already lying, because there's nothing adventurous about blending two standard beers in your lineup. I'm sorry. I love you, Garrison, but it's true. That's just bullshit. Cool looking label, though. And it's in a big bottle, so essentially what they're doing is this is basically a limited special release. They're basically just making this for the plebes that would go to this convention, I guess, who maybe don't usually drink great craft beer, I'm assuming. They're, because the idea of cutting your hop yard with the Tall Ship Amber, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's spicing up your Tall Ship Amber with some hop yard. Seems like a waste of time. Why not just brew a new beer, a totally new beer? But hey, whatever. I don't want to rag on Garrison too much. I love Garrison. But when I see stuff that looks like it's a waste of time or bullshit, I'm going to call them out on it. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing personal. But if you watch me on the Avoiding Chores hangouts most Fridays, Jim Sears' channel, you'll see that he had this last week, and he thought it was okay. He didn't think it was anything special, but we'll see what we think of it. Who knows? It might be actually really good. So, it looks pretty much like the Hop Yard or the Tall Ship. They're pretty much around the same color anyway. It's got a light sort of amberish color, a little bit of a head. All right. Yeah, it looks fun. It's definitely looks pretty well filtered. So let's go right to the aroma. I'm getting more Tall Ship in this than I am getting Hop Yard, that's for sure. I mean, Tall Ship Amber Ale is essentially just a malty kind of thing. It's probably their most boring brew, honestly. That's not, it's not slamming Garrison or anything. It serves its purpose. It's there for a reason. It's there for people who aren't necessarily into hoppy beers, or first time craft brew drinkers or whatever. But I'm mostly getting that. I'm mostly getting this sort of bready malt character, slightly caramel, slightly maybe a little bit of caramel on toast kind of smell. And then there's just a hint of sort of the floral side of the hop profile of Hop Yard coming up in the background. But, it smells okay. But essentially, it is what I was saying earlier. It's a cut down Hop Yard, in the smell at least. Because I get the faint aroma of the hop yards, the actual hops in the background. And so we'll go right to taste. Cheers. It tastes like Hop Yard. Although the hops were fainter in the aroma, they're pretty much the same as Hop Yard in the actual taste. Just getting maybe a bit more of a bready malt character, but nice drying hop finish in the back, just like Hop Yard. Kind of earthy, kind of floral, slightly citrus, like grapefruit. You know, honestly, maybe I think maybe the biggest difference between this and Hop Yard is the mouthfeel seems a bit, maybe a little teeny bit thicker. About medium bodied. But having the more malty amber ale in this, you think the actual malt would be up front a bit more to balance out with the hops. I'm getting a lot of drying hops on the end. This is definitely not for beginners and plebes who are looking for something easier to drink. There's actually quite a bit of bitterness, so a little conflicted on this. Getting a lot of dryness now in the back. Lingers on quite a bit. Yeah, you know, it's not too bad. I still think it's about a bit of a cop-out. They should have just brewed an original beer for this thing, but I think probably they combine these two for the purpose of having a beer to really dry out the back of the palate, to keep you A, drinking, B, to have you eat. I imagine there's going to be a lot of food vendors and stuff participating in this convention, so you get yourself a bottle of this, or off tap, or however they're doing it there at the convention, and get some food. The hop flavors aren't so much prominent in the actual hop thing. You can definitely get more of the hop flavor in the actual, just the base Hop Yard. So here you're basically just getting the bitterness and the dryness for the most part of the hops. So that actually kind of works. It's something to offset some of the food you might be eating and to keep you drinking at the same time. So, I mean, as a business move, I guess it's pretty smart. Is it really all that good? I don't know. It's not a bad beer at all, but it's really just kind of boring, really. But hey, whatever. It's still it's two decently made beers. Hop Yard's actually a pretty damn good beer. The amber is just, it's alright, I guess. But, yeah, okay. It's probably a good use for their amber ale. I mean, I wouldn't cry if that left their lineup, honestly, so. I can't really go much higher in the 3 out of 5, though. I mean, just taking it as a beer alone, not really much of a malt balance, and the flavor profile just overall is pretty lacking, but it has a really nice bitterness to it, and it's got a little bit of body to it, and yeah, okay, you could do a lot worse. So, obey this brew. Would I say buy it? If you had a friend you want to share it with, maybe both you chip in. Otherwise, probably not, honestly. I mean, it's not a bad beer, but I don't know if it's worth spending money on, because this is a big bottle, so you're paying like close to $5 for it. I want something a little bit better for my money if it's going to be in a big bottle like this. But 3 out of 5, just as the beer alone, 3 out of 5. If you feel like throwing down the money, it's recommended to try it out, but don't expect anything exciting. Alright guys, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.